Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel. I'm Wendy, and here is my review for Longlegs. FBI Agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. While we didn't do a trailer reaction for Longlegs, I did check out trailers. There's when I first looked into it, there were two different ones. And I just watched one because it creeped me out so much. I watched it at night, which was probably not the smartest idea for horror films. But I watched one trailer and that was enough for me. I didn't want to know more about the film and I was thoroughly creeped out. And I remember sitting down for the screening thinking, gosh, I'm in here for like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours plus. And I was already creeped out by the trailer. I hope I'm gonna be okay. So this is... I would say it's more suspense thriller than horror, even though I feel like that's walking a very fine line. You can categorize this as horror, but it's not horror where you are, it's more subtle. It's more kind of like sticks in your mind. It's not, there's a couple of jump scares, not a lot. It's not that type of film, but it is completely unhinged. And when I say unhinged, I also mean Nicolas Cage's performance. Completely unhinged. I think this might go down, in my opinion, one of the best performances by Nicolas Cage I've seen, and he is, as you know, phenomenal. But I have never seen him in a character like this. He plays Longlegs, and I don't want to give too much away of like what Longlegs look like if you didn't look into the trailer, if you haven't seen the movie yet. And like the mannerism and all of that. Just know that it's like kind of occulty and not really possession, but it is in like the satanic and demonic realm. And it's just every time the character comes on screen, I feel like I'm trying to lean back further into my seat to get myself more distance away from the screen because his presence is so strong. And it's so creepy. I was glad that my screening finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that means I had some daylight, to come out of the screening for it to kind of decompress. And the whole film, the way they filmed it, the cinematography is really, really cool where it makes you, it's constantly leaving you in a sense of unease where you're kind of like, this is where we're going to get the jump scare. This is when we're going to see Longlegs again. This is where something terrible is going to happen. And I really loved how they framed it. And then the way they do it where you're just kind of solely focusing on that one character on screen. A lot of times it's Maika who plays Lee Harker, and she is equally phenomenal. In fact, there is a scene of her in her like home / like cabin. It looked like a wood cabin, but I think it's just the style of like the homes back then, perhaps. And it's a nighttime scene, and it was giving me the vibes. The best way I can compare it to is the first movie in Strangers, or The Strangers in the first one, not the second one, because I haven't seen that one yet. But the vibes is like they weren't really using a soundtrack or loud noises to kind of like ramp up your suspense. It's very subtle sounds, and your senses to like what you're seeing on screens, it's extra heightened. It's just a really well executed film. Like how it leans to the demonic and satanic stuff is really, really messed up if you think about it. And the more you dive into it, of course, I'm not gonna spoil that part of the movie for you because that's the best part when you find out what or who is behind all of this. You're gonna be shocked. Like I think my jaw was on the floor for the last 10 minutes of the film. It's unbelievable. The pacing is a little bit slow. I feel like it is a little bit of a slow burn film, but perhaps that also comes from me being really uncomfortable and creeped out thoroughly throughout the film. This might be one of those, I think to me, this is one of those horror films that's going to stay with me for a long time. When people say, hey, do you have any like horror film recommendations to check out, I think this is making it to the list of that because it's thoughtful, it's different, it's unique, and you have really, really fantastic performances, especially from Nicolas Cage. I hope he gets some sort of like awards and nods when time comes because he is truly unhinged in this. And my rating for Longlegs is check it out. And I say check it out, it's because I just don't feel like this would hit the same at home. But you know what? Maybe it would. Maybe it would. Maybe it's creepier at home because you're like, I don't want to bring this energy into my house. But I think it should be experienced in the theater with the crowd, because the scares are very effective, even more effectively. So when you watch it with an audience. So there you have it. That is my thoughts on Longlegs. Let me know your thoughts once you've seen the movie in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.